Today is Sunday, the 23rd of May, and as promised, an update for the garden and your garden tour. I think I missed a week, but you'll be amazed at all of the growth. So let's go in. Pretty sun when the sun sets. You still have to put pine straw down, but now all the black stuff is down. It's made a big difference. So we'll start off with our two smaller beds. This is a tomato bed here with all large slicer tomatoes in it. And these are beautiful nasturtiums. Look at how big they are. They're so happy in here. So happy. We have a couple different things going on down here. This guy right here is a cucamelon. And they will grow and they'll have these little tiny, they look like a little watermelon, but they're actually the cucumber family. And they have a real limey flavor. And then down here, we have a Kajari melon. So this will be a personal sized melon that will also trellis amongst this big trellis. So this trellis is going to be really filled in this year, which will be nice. This is another Kajari melon here. And some more nasturtiums. I think they're a different type than the other one. Those are actually edible. They taste a little bit like horseradish. You can put them in salads, ferments, all sorts of things. You'll see in the middle we have the sunflowers that are already blooming and so pretty. I think starting them early may have made them a little bit shorter, but it definitely made them bloom quicker. These tomatoes in here are outrageously healthy. Look at how nice and green they are. We have lots of tomatoes. Beyond that, look at the size of this stalk. I'll show you just in comparison with my thumb. That is huge. Huge, huge tomato. And they're all this green and lush. This is a pink boar. You can see there's fruits setting in there for sure. And this is a yellow thornburns. Beautiful fruits, just beautiful. Once again, really thick, massive stalks on here. And some interplanting with basils. That's an opal basil. So these are all large slicer tomatoes. This trellis system that we're working with this year works really well. So we're using this, and we do tie them up a little bit, but we started with a tomato, I don't know if I can find it anymore. Oh, there it is. A plastic tomato clip. Tied the green string to it. As it grows, you wrap the green string around it. That's what they do in greenhouses. And it's done really well, helping us keep track of keeping all of our tomatoes and stuff in line. So that's that first bed. Those are all different kinds of tomatoes. I think we have every color in here except for red tomatoes and white tomatoes, as funny as that may sound. The other short bed here, look at our friend coming out. This is a squash. And this is a tromboncini squash, if I'm not mistaken. I do have the label down here somewhere. We have the cucamelons again coming up, and this little baby dwarf nasturtium with pretty variegated flowers. I love anything variegated. So here's our rampicante. Yeah, this is a rampicante. Oh, no, it's a tromboncini squash, sorry. And this, obviously, I need to start training up the trellis. It's going to get huge. And we have beautiful sunflowers up here. Just gorgeous colors. Just beautiful. And once again, some nice nasturtiums. These in this bed are all cherry tomatoes. Look at that sunflower. Isn't that beautiful? That's just gorgeous. I don't even know what type it is. We just put them all in there. So these are all cherry tomatoes. Everything from chocolate pears to orange tomatoes, purple tomatoes, pink tomatoes. This is Katie's pink lemonade tomato, and I keep clipping these, and they just are huge, just growing like crazy. This one is a berries crazy cherry. Look at all these blossoms. It's gonna be like a bouquet of tomatoes, and I had a dream the other night, more of a nightmare. How do I even support these guys? Like, that's all gonna be tomatoes. So yeah, I don't know. Any ideas, let me know. Some more nasturtiums and some pollinator flowers and more nasturtiums, and then you can see how nice and big these sunflowers were supposed to be a pro cut one-time bloom, but not this year. They've got loads of blooms on them too. So that is that other 8-foot bed. As you look down, these are more cherry tomatoes. They're all cherries in this bed, and a little more interplanting going on. So we'll go to the right of the beds here, and this is all comfrey, which is, you can use it for a natural mulch. That's also a good medicinal feature. The bees also love it. Our pollinators are just super happy this year. You can see our little pollinator friend down there, which is always a good thing. Lots of pollination means lots of fruit set. And Candace will walk around this way. We have all of our drip system in now. We're waiting on just a few to come in. I shouldn't say all because it isn't all. The perennial bed is really starting to come about. Next year it'll be even better because I just put those bulbs in this year. And then we have a new bed over here, which we're not really sure what else we're going to put in it right now. Right now it's holding our strawberries till our tower arrives. We're going to plant them in a vertical tower that has 42 pockets. So we have 42 strawberries going on over there. And Greg had to decide to put in some more peppers, of course, because, you know, Greg and peppers, it's all good. We are drying some of our elephant garlic. This system has worked great to be able to roll it in and out of the sun. So this is 2 of the 5 or 6 varieties that we planted this year. And so that's all elephant garlic all through here. We will probably hold back a half to 3/4 of it for seed garlic for this next year. And then we'll eat the rest. And then next year we'll have plenty. This bed right here is a tomatillo bed because everybody needs a ton of tomatillos, right? Kind of funny. So we've interplanted, making sure we take care of our pollinators there. There's sunflowers down the middle and some marigolds and some, I think they're called penta. These pretty, they have the beautiful, beautiful blooms. Hummingbirds are loving these as well. And then there's some miscellaneous things put in here. So this is a African blue daisy that's growing that I grew from seed. And these tomatillos are all different colors. So there's yellow, there's blue, there's purple, there's a green with a purple shoulder in here. There was 2 surprise tomatoes. I don't know what kind of tomatoes they are, but I didn't have the heart to throw them away because they really wanted to live. So I stuck them in this bed where 2 tomatillos didn't live. And you can see we're using that same trellising system. I just tied these little guys up yesterday, so they'll have a way to grow up onto the trellis. So that makes it very easy, very nice. This is some more African blue disc daisies. These will be white daisies, and they have this really beautiful blue disc right in the middle of them. And then we decided to just do some portulaca in the little red beds here. Instead of food, we got lots of beds for food growing this year, so that's just a pretty. Oh, and there's a pretty horse. Hey, Toby. This is our bed space here that kind of has a mix of things between sunflowers. These are chives and onions blooming. They're really just companion plants. I like the way they look when they bloom. They look like truffula trees from Dr. Seuss. The only food thing we have in here is this, and it's called a cardoon. C-A-R-D-O-O-N, cardoon. And you let the leaves grow. It'll get about 4 foot by 4 foot, so I probably didn't give it enough room, but we'll see. And then you boil the leaves, I think is how you do it, or you broil them and they taste like an artichoke heart. So we thought it might be kind of fun to grow, so we put some seeds out, and these are some dwarf sunflowers here. We're trying some dwarf varieties of plants as well. Here's the back side of the perennial bed. Here's 2 pots of tomatoes waiting for a customer. We have a pick up and grow program. So this particular customer wanted a Katie's Pink Lemonade cherry tomato and a Thornburns yellow tomato. So I grow them organically, I pot them up, and they literally Venmo me the money. They pick them up at the front gate and away they go, and they have their garden. We've done probably a good 10 or 12 of those this year. This bed was the garlic bed, if you remember, and now it has herbs in it that will go into our ferments. And so we've had a large request for ferments this year as well. So we decided we needed another bed of dill and basil and other herbs that we put inside of our ferment, pineapple sage, that we put in the ferment. So this is all seeded in here. Okra actually is down the middle. I believe it's the Jing okra, which is an orange okra from Okinawa. And then the rest of the drip lines are all dill, because we'll need a lot of that for our ferments, because those are getting super popular. It's catching on for people. Of course, our lavender that we use, along with our cardoon and our calendula for the oils and salves and lotions. In here we have interplanted onions and artichokes. So the onions we use for our Asian cooking and ferments. We just use the greens, really. And then the artichokes, which I'm just so excited. I just wanted to try to grow artichokes. And then we have some sunflowers, some dwarf sunflowers in through there. So there's a little bit of DE, diatomaceous earth on there. We had some critters eating a couple little holes, and so we decided we didn't want that, of course. These are some Cape gooseberries. So we're gonna have a little Cape gooseberry patch right here. They are kind of like a ground cherry, but just a little bit different, sweet on the sweeter side. These are Thai noodle beans. These will be 18 inches long or so. They will trellis to this whole trellis here, and you can use those in stir fries. You can eat them raw. This is actually jicama that's growing, so that will also trellis up that. And just some flowers for our pollinators. I can't even really remember what they're called. They are showy pink primrose is what they are. I just thought they were really pretty, and they kind of fit nicely there. Once again, same kind of beans on this side, and we have intercropped some onions, some sunflowers. This is either leaf basil or mammoth basil. Use those in spring rolls. You can use it like regular basil too, but you can use it in spring rolls and that kind of stuff too. I can't remember if it's leaf basil or mammoth basil. Let's see. Oh, this is leaf lettuce. So you can actually do like a sandwich wrap with these. As you can tell, I mean, they'll get huge, and you can wrap your sandwich with it. This is a lime basil. Literally tastes like if you were to cross lime and basil. It's wonderful. That beautiful calendula. Isn't she pretty? I pick her flowers and use her for skin products and healing salves. It really works wonders on people and animals. Really good. This is all lemongrass over here. This will be again for cooking and some of our Asian cooking as well. This is the zucchini and squash bed. We, for the first time this year, are going to try growing it upright. So we're actually going to put stakes in here and trellis it up and then keep it clipped up. So the first two, I believe, are yellow slick pick squash. They're coming along. We started these from seed a little bit late too. So this is an 8-ball squash. So these are produce little 8-ball ground green squash. This is also an 8-ball squash. Getting some blooms in there, so that's good. And this is, I believe, what's this? Oh, this is the Golden Delight zucchini. This is that zucchini last year that tastes like a zucchini but was orange and had great disease resistance. So that's the zucchini bed, which I'm standing right behind the smaller tomato bed. So these are the ones that we just added. We added a few new beds that you won't recognize here. These were old horse troughs that we weren't using anymore, so we decided to trellis them and turn them into a bed. And a trellis, the little balls you see hanging there, little solar lights. So at night they light up solar. So I stuck some yarrow back here, which I'll probably have to end up moving. And then in here we have, on this side, we have small personal spaghetti squash. So this will literally, it'll cover up this entire trellis, so it'll be shaded. And you won't have to help support them because they're a small spaghetti squash, so perfect size for 2. And then in the other one are some more personal melons, Kajari melons. These are really sweet. They have a beautiful orange stripe on them. And some more yarrow back there. This is another bed that we just added. And so there's a box here and a box up there. And it has a trellis that goes all the way over to the box, as you can see. These are small personal butternut squashes. So we will let these grow, and these will be our winter squash here. And it will grow all the way over that trellis. And this is also that, along with some little flowers that we started. So there's that trellis there too. So in front of this one now, we have another large tomato bed. So these are large tomatoes, that's what I meant to say on that. And the beautiful sunflowers. These are a plum pro cut. They're like absolutely purple when they first open, and then they get a little yellow on them. They're so pretty. And more nasturtium. Great companion planting, keeps all the bad bugs away. And then these tomatoes, once again, I mean, the stalks are just huge. I've never, ever, ever seen stalks this big. I think when Dad and I planted them, we trenched them because they were so long. So we didn't just plant them straight down, we trenched them sideways. So they probably have all those roots growing, and then they go up. This is a great sign that you have great soil health right there. I don't eat them. I don't know if you could, but great soil health. And interplanted here with green onions as well, so we can use those for our Asian cooking. So these are all of the tomatoes, all the different colors. So we've got a pink one. We've got another pink one. This is a Hawaiian pineapple yellow. This is a red and yellow striped tomato pork chop. I need to come out here and pinch off my suckers. Purple one, a black one. I think the only color seriously I don't have is white or red. I have almost every other color of tomato you can think of. Look at those pretty sunflowers. They're so pretty. So, so pretty. I've started another set of sunflowers down in there too, so when those guys go out, the new ones can come up. And here's more tomatoes. Super hot today with no rain, so it probably explains the leaf curl here. This little guy's a little shorter than his friends, huh? Who are you? Oh, you're a thornburn yellow too. So there's the tomatoes. And I think that's more than enough for anybody. I know what you think. And if we turn around the bed right next to it, this is the smoking hot bed. This is the one that has a lot of really, really super hot peppers in it, interplanted with different basils. So that's a mammoth basil, a Thai holy basil, an opal basil, and we have all sorts of peppers. Really cool. They're starting to grow and starting to produce fruit. Look at those little tiny peppers on there. This is a puma pepper. The leaves are so pretty. This one is a Carolina Reaper. So hottest pepper we have in this bed. I don't know, it's ridiculous, like 1 million or 2 million Scovilles or something like that. Yellow fever, all of these are just really hot peppers. Cayenne peppers, boot jalakia, so ghost peppers here. We've grown all these from seed. All those 3 are boot jalakias. We have mammoth basil, so this basil also gets just huge. It's wonderful. You make a whole caprese salad in one wrap. And ahi chambo peppers, peri-peri peppers, and guess what these are? Daddle peppers. Oh look, they have ants. I don't know why the ants are loving the peppers. I need to spray some more DE on it. Interesting. We'll have to spray some DE. I think there's aphids on it actually. Sometimes the ants will do that. They actually come and they protect because the aphids excrete something that the ants like to eat. You see the aphids down in there? That's what's going on. And so the ants actually come and they protect the aphids so they can keep giving them the sweetness that they like to eat. So I'll have to put some more DE on there. We'll see if the daddles produce. Supposedly they only do well in St. Augustine, but I guess that's not the case. Sugar Rush Peach, which we already are getting lots of nice peppers on our Sugar Rush Peach, but that's kind of early, but we'll take it. And habanero peppers, and another habanero pepper. And then we added these beds. So that's a new one. You saw this one. I'm not even gonna go out there. There's potatoes. Probably another 3 weeks and we'll harvest all the potatoes. This is another hot pepper bed. Has ground cherries on either end of it and sunflowers that are coming up in the middle. So there's a bunch of additional hot peppers there. This is a brand new addition too since the last time you saw the video, which are 2 long 12-foot beds by 4 foot wide. And we're gonna call this, I think, the Dr. Seuss tunnel, because everything in here is like from India or from China. There are different things that you wouldn't typically see growing. We're getting ready to take this fence out so that we can walk straight through. But we have everything from tromboncini squash, which will grow big and long, to Chinese noodle beans, which are about 18 to 24 inches high. We've got a bunch of different kinds of personal melons, some watermelons, some yellow watermelon. I can't remember all the different personal watermelons we have down there. That is a bitter melon from China, from Okinawa, and we'll have to just see what we do with that because I'm not really sure. Some Chinese wing beans that you use for stir fry, and another one of those squash. On the outside there, we actually have pink okra, and we have we had to put a couple extra spots. You see these trellises there for cucumbers because our request for ferments is getting high, and they're going to need a lot of those. So, and this is just flowers there. More of the potatoes. Those are 10-gallon buckets, if that gives you any idea of size. And another pepper bed here. So those are ground cherries on the end. So those will be nice and sweet to harvest. These are all different kinds of cucumbers here. So there's Armenian cucumbers, there's yellow cucumbers, crystal apple cucumbers, and dragon's egg cucumbers down there on the end. Just trying some different varieties. And then these are hot peppers here. And then basil on the end. And if we turn around here, here's the pepper bed I can actually touch. because they aren't crazy, crazy hot like those other ones. And so these, there's a couple like a blot pepper and stuff. We have no regular green peppers growing, no snacking bell peppers, none of that. Oh wow, look at that. Look at the serranos. How exciting. Yep. And then this is the cucumber bed here. These are munchers, or what these are. Not sure if they're gonna do great where we are, we'll see. These are gherkins. The gherkins are doing really well. I started all these from seed, and those are Armenian cucumbers. So that pretty much covers, oh, we do have a okra bed on the back of the barn, but I won't walk you back there. And then we have an herb bed, herb garden that we started on the other side where the chickens are. So it's really turned out nice. We're gonna have a lot of food producing here, so hope everybody's hungry and ready for some fresh produce. Don't turn us away when you get tired of the fresh produce and the eggs, because I promise we'll keep it coming as long as you keep eating it. So this is the tour for today. We'll see it again in another week or two. It's always amazing how quickly it changes.